I'm so ready for this. I am so ready to film this video. I'm really excited. Today I'm going to be filming my updated favourites for the fall/winter season for women. So I can't remember, the last time that I did this video was a very long time ago. That was one of my first perfume videos. A lot has changed. A lot has changed, and I am just so excited to bring you guys this list. If you don't know, I'm currently just about to come out of the fall-winter kind of weather, and I'm actually very excited. I'm so excited to start wearing more summer fragrances and pulling them out and going to the beach and getting a tan. I'm feeling very pale and very cold right now. But yeah, I definitely wanted to film this and show you guys what my favorites were for fall-winter. As you can see by the title, I like to categorize mine like fall-winter and summer-spring. I don't like to separate them too much just because it's a little bit easier. So I'm super excited for this video. Everything, guys, every perfume that I'm talking about today will be linked in the description bar down below, so it's easier for you guys. And yeah, please follow me on Instagram if you would like to. It is at demi.rawling, and let's get into it. I have 11 places, so we have 10 plus an honorable mention. So let's get into it. Number 11, my honorable mention is from Jean Paul Gaultier, and this fragrance, let's just talk about it. It is Scandale from Jean Paul Gaultier, and I have to be honest with you guys, when I first smelt this, it didn't wow me, and it definitely didn't stand out to me for the right reasons, but I actually smelt this on my friend. My friend and I went out to a club, this was quite a while ago now, and she smelled incredible. She smelled absolutely freaking amazing. And I asked her, I was like, what are you wearing? What is that fragrance? I couldn't tell what it was. I couldn't pick up any notes, but she smelled really sweet and delicious, and they're sort of my favorite kind of fragrances. And she told me it was Scandale, and I was like, are you serious? Are you tricking me right now? She was like, no, it's Scandale. And I was like, wow, I have to go and give that another try. I have to spray it on my arm and test it out. And I did, and I kind of low-key fell in love with it. I do really like this fragrance. Now, this is not for the faint of heart. This is not for the wallflower, the faint of heart. It is so incredibly sweet and strong, and I am gonna be honest, it is a little bit headache inducing. The honey note in here, there is a strong honey note, and honey, when I say strong, I mean it's strong. The honey in here, like I said, is almost headache inducing. It's honey, patchouli, and blood orange, and it's just incredibly sweet. There is a white floral, but trust me guys, this is basically just a honey explosion. I do think it's perfect for the fall and colder months because I really like intense fragrances in the fall weather. I think everybody does because it really cuts through that cold air. Scandale definitely does that. Okay, coming in at my number 10 is a fragrance that I've talked about so much on my channel. I'm sure you guys are kind of sick of it now. I've talked about this so much. I've had so many people message me on my Instagram and email me and tell me that they've bought this and they absolutely adore it. So I'm really glad that you guys are loving it as much as I am. This is Angel Muse from Mugler. This is one of those fragrances that I say, this is how great perfumery can be. This is how great and amazing fragrances can be. And I'm not joking when I say that. It is so interesting and unique and special, and it's just amazing. If you don't know how this smells, please go and smell it. It is extremely unique for being a designer fragrance. It doesn't smell to me like the original Angel. This is a flanker to the Angel, but trust me, they don't smell the same. They definitely have a similar, they're going in similar directions, but this one is much more chocolatey and gourmand and delicious, whereas Angel has that patchouli note in there that's very strong. To me, putting it simply to you guys, I can go into it and talk about what I feel and what I smell and all this, but to me it smells like hazelnut Nutella powder. That's literally what it smells like. If Nutella was in a powdered form, I think that this is what it would smell like. It's a bit dry, it's a bit dusty and smoky, but it's just amazing. Please go and smell this one. It is amazing, especially for the fall. Sadly, I think that this one would be a lot, too much in the summer. Same with Scandale. These fragrances I just think are no-goes for the summer, so that's why they're in my fall list. So that is Angel Muse from Mugler. Definitely check it out. I think it's perfect for the cooler weather. Okay, this is a fragrance, in my opinion, that can be worn not only in the fall, but it can be worn every season, any occasion. This is a very versatile fragrance, so it will probably be in a lot of my lists going forward. This fragrance will probably be in quite a lot of my lists. This is Prada Candy. I know it's kind of weird that I've never mentioned this because it's right up my alley. This fragrance is so nice. Like, I really think that this is a good fragrance. I'm sure that you guys know this fragrance. It has been in so many different people's lists and favorites and all that sort of stuff. To me, it's a beautiful caramel sweet gourmand. It's got caramel and benzoin and powdery notes and musk. It is just beautiful. It's a very kind of, to me, it's a very simple sweet fragrance. Like, it doesn't have a lot of like depth to it or complexity, but it's beautiful. I think it's one of the best kind of versatile sweet fragrances that works all season. Like I said, all season. Could be beautiful in the summertime as well. This is a sweet fragrance that is almost better in the summertime than it is in the colder weather, but I really love it. So if you're a sweet fragrance fan, definitely check out the Prada Candy, the original. I actually have to be honest, I don't really like any of the flankers to this one. I only really like the original. So Prada Candy, check it out. It is amazing. The only thing is that the longevity is not good on this one, but I have to tell you guys, if you just overspray this a little bit, just overspray it in the same spots that you first sprayed it, it will last. So that's a kind of a tip from me to you. I really don't think that fragrances that lack longevity are such a big deal because you can just kind of overspray them, and a lot of the time, not all of the time, but a lot of the time, if you just overspray them, they do last that whole length. I have the worst cramps right now. Like, I'm gonna be so real. I'm sorry if there's any guys watching this, but it is that time and I'm feeling so, I get the worst cramps and I've got them super bad right now, but I'm gonna push through. I can push through this. Okay, so moving on to my number 8, I actually have a tie. I have 2 ties in this list. I'm sorry, I know ties are a little bit annoying, but I have tied 2 vanilla fragrances as my number 8. So here we have 2 of my favorite vanillas. This is Serge Lutens Bois Vanille and Van Cleef & Arpels Orchid Vanille. So I talked about both of these in my favorite gourmands. So if you want to see like more of an in-depth kind of thing, go on to that video. I'll link it below. First of all, Serge Lutens Bois Vanille. It is such a beautiful vanilla, and to me, it's a very like sophisticated vanilla. It doesn't smell cakey like pink sugar, or it doesn't smell really girly and Barbie-like. This is like a real vanilla, like a real foodie vanilla. I said that in my gourmand I said that in my gourmands video, that this is more of like a foodie vanilla. It sits perfectly balanced between sweet and savory. It definitely has this like kind of saltiness in there. It's like a woody, it's got licorice and almond and coconut and vanilla and beeswax. It has a waxy quality. There's definitely a waxy quality from that coconut and the beeswax. Like I said, it's sweet and salty a little bit, and also got that woodiness in there, but it is stunning. Like, you guys, this fragrance is so good. So if you're not a fan of like maybe something like Prada Candy, which I still think that this is quite a nice mature sweet scent, I don't think it's too girly and too Barbie-like, but if you want something that isn't so like that one, try out Bois Vanille. I think it's beautiful, and I think it's very, yeah, like a sophisticated vanilla. So Serge Lutens Bois Vanille is my number 8, and then tying with that, we have Van Cleef & Arpels Orchid Vanille. Every single time I smell this, it feels like, I know this is the most bizarre thing, but to me this fragrance literally feels like a warm hug. Like, it is hands down one of my most comforting fragrances in my collection at this moment. Like, this is such a comforting fragrance. It's sweet, it's vanilla, there's orange in there. It kind of smells to me like vanilla, like a vanilla cake or vanilla frosting or something like that. Again, not like a Barbie girl sweet fragrance. It's a beautiful, comforting, cozy, warm vanilla that is perfect, like perfect for the fall and winter. The only thing with this fragrance is that it doesn't last a very long time, but the same thing goes with the Prada Candy. Just overspray a little bit and it will last a little bit longer. So definitely recommend this one. The only thing I have to say is longevity isn't really good on this one. The Serge Lutens last a long time on my skin. You don't need many sprays of this one. So both of these were my like kind of favorite vanillas to wear this fall winter season, and yeah, definitely check them out. Number 7. Number 7 is a very controversial fragrance. I think I've said this many times, it's a love or hate. It's an absolute hate or an absolute love, and for me, it's an absolute love. We're talking about Tom Ford Black Orchid. I have the Eau de Toilette version, and I think I think, to be honest with you guys, the Eau de Toilette is a little better. That's just my opinion. I think it's not as... They're both polarizing, they're both a very intense fragrance, but I think the Eau de Toilette is a little bit more wearable. That's just my opinion. Black Orchid would absolutely choke everyone out in the hotter weather. I think it would just be way too much. So for me, this is like a strictly cold weather kind of fragrance. Sometimes I wear it at the night as well. It is such a beautiful fragrance. If you don't know Black Orchid, please check it out. It is such a stunning, just... incredible fragrance. It's earthy, it's woody, it's musky, it's sweet, it's spicy, it's just amazing. It's got patchouli and orchid and tuba. It's amazing, but like I said, it's a definite love or hate fragrance. Some people will absolutely despise it and some people will love it. So it is a very big love for me. So that is Black Orchid. Coming in at number 6, this again was a fragrance that was in my gourmand video. And this is from Maison Lancôme, and this fragrance is called Lavendas Trianon. It's a very unique fragrance to me. This fragrance is very special, very unique, and again, a fragrance that I think is mostly suitable for the fall winter, because it does have a very strong milky kind of essence to the fragrance. There is milk in this fragrance, that's a note that's in here, but it definitely has this very milky, sweet, herbal, aromatic sort of thing going on. So I think, again, this would be a fragrance that in the very hot heat, it would be very cloying and a bit gross. So keep this one, I think, in the more fall, winter, and a little bit in the spring. I think it would be beautiful. So Lavendas Trianon, how does it smell? It is, like I said, it's milky, it's sweet, it's vanilla, it's herbal, it's got that lavender note that gives it the tiny bit of the herbally aromaticness to it. It's gorgeous, it really is, but I've said this in my gourmand video, this fragrance is very, very long lasting. On my skin, all of the Lancôme fragrances, I need to know what's going on there. I need to know what is going on at the Lancôme fragrance studios, because honestly, every single Lancôme fragrance that I have, even from the normal designer line, not the exclusives, like the normal line as well, all of the Lancôme fragrances last so incredibly long on my skin. I don't know what's going on there, but La Vie est Belle, La Nuit Trésor, these fragrances, Oud Bouquet, they all last like 12 hours plus on my skin. So there's something crazy going on there, and I'm very happy about it because all of them last so long on my skin. So if you're after long-lasting fragrances, just go to Lancôme. They literally do the most long-lasting fragrances that I've ever experienced. So that one on a tangent, but basically what I was saying is that this fragrance lasts a very long time on my skin, so I really have to be in the mood to wear this, because it's a fragrance that if you spray it on, you're committed. You are committed to this fragrance all day. I can't put on another fragrance, I can't mix it. It is a commitment to wear this fragrance, and it's very, like I said, it's very weird and quirky because it does have that milkiness to it, and milk is a note for me personally that is a hit or miss, and I think it's a very difficult note to wear without kind of smelling like sick, but this is perfect. This is beautiful, don't get me wrong, it's beautiful fragrance. It's, like I said, that milky lavender, sweet cookie kind of vibe, so love that one, especially for the fall winter. I think it's just perfect. And as well, I love coming back to a sweater, like once I've sprayed this on a little bit of a sweater, coming back to that is an experience in itself. Lavendas Trianon from Maison Lancôme is beautiful. I always talk about the bottles as well. I think that Maison Lancôme do some of the most beautiful packaging I've ever seen. Starting out, the number 5 is this fragrance. I am very positive that all of you guys would know this fragrance. It is Christian Dior's Hypnotic Poison Eau de Toilette. I have a little funny story for you guys that when I first heard about this fragrance, I was so excited to go and smell it, and I went to the store and I was planning to buy it, and I went up to the lady and I was like, hey, can I smell Hypnotic Poison, and I think I want to buy it. She's like, oh, do you want the Eau de Toilette or the Eau de Parfum? And I was like, duh, like I want the Eau de Parfum. I was so unaware that they were totally different formulations. I did not know about that. I did not know that Eau de Toilette and Eau de Parfum, sometimes they're completely different fragrances. I literally just thought that the Parfum was a more intense version, the Eau de Toilette was weaker. So obviously I was like, I want the Eau de Parfum, of course. She comes back and I literally don't even smell it, I just buy it. I take it home, and I take it out and I am very like underwhelmed, and To this day, I actually still have the Eau de Parfum in my collection and I never wear it. I need to sell it or give it to a family member or something like that because I just don't wear it. I really don't like the Eau de Parfum version of Hypnotic Poison, but the Eau de Toilette is incredible. It is probably one of the best, if not the best fragrance for fall. It is absolutely beautiful. Creamy, vanilla, waxy, coconut, almond, vanilla scent. It's a bit woody as well. It is just stunning. It is popular for a reason. It is loved for a reason. Hypnotic Poison is absolutely stunning. I'm actually wearing it today and I love it. I really love this one. So yeah, Hypnotic Poison by Christian Dior, the Eau de Toilette. Trust me right now, the Eau de Toilette is definitely, in my opinion, the best version of Hypnotic Poison. Hands down the best. Number 4. What is my number 4 fragrance? I actually have a niche fragrance from the House of Goldfield & Banks Australia. And I am so excited to tell you guys about this one. I don't think I've mentioned it in a women's video before. This is Desert Rosewood from Goldfield & Banks, and my God, you guys, please go and smell this. I know that if you like the same fragrances as me, you will absolutely love Desert Rosewood. So comforting. Like I said about my Van Cleef & Arpels Orchid Vanille, this one sort of gives me the same feeling. I feel so warming and comforting and cozy when I smell this. It's just one of those fragrances that instantly makes you feel warm, like a warm hug. There is benzoin in here, which benzoin is hands down one of my favorite notes in fragrance. It's like a resinous, kind of resinous powdery vanilla. It is just beautiful. It's got patchouli, benzoin, rosewood. It's a very sweet fragrance, but not cloying. It's kind of the same as, they don't smell the same, I'm not comparing them, but Desert Rosewood could probably be worn in like a lot of different seasons. Probably just would stay away from it in like hot, humid, disgusting summer heat, but it could be worn in like the sunshine and the heat. I think it would just play up beautifully. It is a stunning fragrance, you guys. Like, honestly, I would love it if you guys could go and get your nose on this one. It is beautiful. It's my personal favorite that I like to wear the most from Goldfield & Banks. I think it is just such a beautiful fragrance. So Goldfield & Banks Desert Rosewood, definitely check it out, especially for the fall winter. It has that very, like I said, that very warming and comforting feeling, which I do love fragrances like that in the fall winter. I hate to do this. I'm really sorry, guys, but I have another tie, and I did actually tie these 2 fragrances in my Gourmands video as well, because they're both featuring the same note and I want to give you guys the option. So basically, my number 3 is Tonka Imperial from Guerlain and Fève Delicious from Christian Dior. I'm going to try and talk about it quite quickly because, again, I did talk about them in my Gourmand video. Tonka Imperial, it's my favorite of the 2. It is hands down my favorite out of Fève Delicious and Tonka Imperial. Tonka Imperial is my favorite. It is stunning. It is tonka and almond and incense and tobacco, but it is the most masterfully blended fragrance I have ever smelled, and I'm not joking when I say that. It is perfection. It is tonka, but it's very buttery. Like, there's a buttery feeling to this fragrance. It's more rounded, more buttery, and blended to perfection. So smooth and sensual and just absolutely amazing. Tonka Imperial from Guerlain is, like I said, in my opinion, this is a masterpiece. You could wear this one quite a few different seasons. I don't think it's strictly a fall winter fragrance at all. I think you could probably wear this one in the heat. Obviously stay away from sweet fragrances in like the humid, disgusting heat, but this one definitely could be worn in like spring as well when there's a nice sunshine. Now, Fève Delicious, on the other hand, I would say is a strictly winter, fall winter fragrance. Strong fragrance over here. It is a beautiful fragrance. I will give it that. It is beautiful. It is one of the best gourmands, but to me, I do prefer Tonka Imperial over Fève, but Tonka Imperial does not have the longevity and the projection that Fève has. I forgot to mention that. The longevity on Tonka Imperial isn't that good on my skin personally. I get about 6 hours. I've learnt to kind of overspray a little bit and then it does last longer, but the projection and sillage is not the best on this one, whereas Fève is a beast. It would last like 24 hours if you left it on your skin. It's long lasting. The projection and sillage is amazing. It's cherry, vanilla, Tonka. It's very, very sweet and powdery. I've said it before, but it kind of smells like vanilla baby powder, like not in an insulting way. It just kind of gives me that sort of vibe. Like it really does have that powdery kind of sharpness to it, whereas Tonka Imperial is a lot more buttery, which I prefer. If you're after compliments, Fev Delicious is probably the one to go for, because Fev has gotten me and my mum, because we share it, so many compliments when we have worn it. You can literally see I've made a little dent in here, but I don't need a lot of this. You do not need a lot of this fragrance. It is so long lasting and so beast mode. So there are so many amazing fragrances here that could have all been number 1 and number 2, but I'm gonna go ahead and announce my number 2. This is a fragrance that I have been wearing like so much this fall and winter. I just could not stop wearing it, and neither could my mum. Literally, we are about halfway down in this bottle, and this is from Tom Ford. This is from the Tom Ford Private Blend, and this fragrance is Shanghai Lily. Now, I have to be honest, I think that this fragrance works in other seasons, not just for winter. I think it could be beautiful in the spring, possibly a summer night as well. Shanghai Lily, guys, on my skin this turns quite sweet. There is benzoin and vanilla in the base of this fragrance, so I definitely get this sweetness to it. Like on my skin in the dry down especially, it does turn quite sweet. I've heard quite a few people say this is really spicy on their skin. To be honest with you guys, I don't really get too much spiciness. Like I do, obviously it is a spicy fragrance. It's a spicy white floral, but I don't get too much. I don't get like an overwhelming amount of spice at all. To me, it's just beautifully blended between the white floral and the spice and the sweetness. It is just stunning. I actually think that this would be a beautiful wedding day fragrance as well. I've had numerous compliments on this fragrance, and same with my mum. My mum wears this like almost every single day. The longevity, amazing. The longevity and sillage of this fragrance is absolutely amazing. I have to be honest, it's amazing. It's very unique for a white floral. It doesn't go in your typical very like feminine, flowery, kind of very light white floral. This has got some like sexiness, the spicy sexiness to it that I really love. So Shanghai Lily by Tom Ford is definitely one that I wore probably the most in the fall. Are you guys ready to see my number 1 fragrance for the fall winter? I have to be honest, I reckon that a lot of you guys are going to be very surprised about this, because 1, I have never talked about this fragrance on my channel, and 2, it's very popular. Like this fragrance is one of the most popular fragrances in the world for women, I think. But I'm going to talk about it because it's one of my favorite fragrances of all time. Here we have Mugler's Alien. I know. A very, very, very controversial, popular women's perfume. I have to be honest with you guys. I think that Alien is one of the best fragrances ever made, in my opinion. I really think that there is something so unique, so special. It cannot be duplicated. I've never smelled anything, and I know a lot of people say this when they talk about Alien, that smells anything similar to Alien. If you don't know it, which I'm sure that you do, it's a beautiful, just intoxicating jasmine, amber, and woody fragrance. I'm sure that there's more in here, but that is basically the gist of it. It is a beautiful, intoxicating jasmine. It literally, it's mind-blowing. To me, this fragrance is mind-blowing. I actually never used to be a fan of it when I was younger, because I smelt it on absolutely everyone. When I was about 14, 15 years old, maybe about 15, everyone wore Alien. But, a huge but, nobody wears this. Nobody wears Alien anymore. Like, I haven't smelt this on anyone in a very long time. I don't know about you guys. I don't know about where you live, but where I live in Western Australia, I don't smell Alien on anyone anymore. I don't even remember the last time I smelt it on somebody, so I'm bringing it back. I am bringing back Alien because I think, like I said, it is one of the best perfumes ever made. It's something so unique and special, and I just absolutely love it. So Alien, it is a popular scent, but not where I live. Like, I don't think anybody really wears this one anymore. I think as new perfumes come out and new fragrances are made and new designers and all that sort of stuff, I think people want to know what's new and what is coming up and what is trending. Everyone's about trends, and I think that Alien is something that is a thing of the past, but it is still one of the best perfumes ever. I have been wearing this so much. I actually wore it last night and got 2 compliments while I was out. If you don't know this fragrance, I think you're living under a rock, because I think everybody knows Alien. Go and smell it. You will either love it or hate it. Like I said, I used to not really like it, but as I've gotten more mature and older, it is one of the best fragrances I've ever smelt to my nose. So unique, so special, and intoxicating. Intoxicating is the word that I would use to describe it. So Mugler's Alien, fantastic fragrance, especially for the colder months. It's one of the very few fragrances that just cuts through. It cuts through that cold air and it just smells enchanting. Like, there is something, like I said, I can't keep going on. It smells very magical and enchanting and intoxicating. And like I said, it is one of those fragrances that just cuts through that cold air and it just smells incredible. So Mugler's Alien is my #1 for the fall winter season. I think there is something, like I said, so special about it. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a long one. I am so sorry, but I hope that you enjoyed hearing about what my favorites were for the fall winter season. So yes, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll link everything down below for you guys. Please follow me on Instagram. It is at demi.rawling, only if you want to. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!